Did the Washington Wizards just give away a 24-year-old NBA champion for nothing? Because when the news broke that Jordan Poole was headed to the Pelicans and CJ McCollum was being sent to Washington just to be waived, NBA Twitter lost its mind. But underneath the chaos, this trade might be the beginning of something much bigger. Something nobody saw coming. And if you're thinking, there's no way this ends with just Poole and CJ, you might be right. Because there's a chance this whole thing is just a setup for the next blockbuster. Let's break it all down. The Poole dilemma, the Pelicans' secret strategy, the Wizards' wild gamble, and why this trade might end with Zion Williamson in a different jersey. Also, don't forget to hit like and subscribe on this Court Vision Hooper channel. On the surface, it looked like a basic, even boring trade. The Pelicans sent veteran guard CJ McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, and a future second-round pick to Washington. In return, they got Jordan Poole, Saddiq Bey, and the 40th pick in this year's draft. No all-stars, no big names, just a contract dump for one side and a questionable gamble for the other. But that's exactly why it caused chaos, because Washington didn't even want CJ McCollum. They planned to waive him, which means they just gave up a 24-year-old scoring guard and a decent young forward in Saddiq Bey for cap space. And just like that, the Wizards' future is wide open and wildly uncertain. This is Jordan Poole's second fresh start in just 2 years, and possibly his last shot to prove he's more than a one-hit wonder. We all remember the Poole party back in Golden State, the electric scoring, the shimmying threes, that one crazy playoff run where he looked like the next Splash Brother, but then came the punch. Draymond Green knocked him out in practice, and Poole never fully recovered. Confidence shaken, locker room fractured, and eventually the Warriors sent him to Washington, like they were dumping bad stock. And in DC, it got worse. No structure, no leadership, just a team full of misfit pieces. Poole tried to play hero ball and ended up looking like a G League Steph Curry without the wins. One-legged stepbacks, no defense, viral clips of his teammates rolling their eyes mid-game. Now he's in New Orleans, and this time, there's no excuse. Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, real talent, real coaching, real expectations. This isn't another rebuilding team with nothing to lose. This is a team that wants to win now. And if Poole doesn't deliver, he might be out of chances. Here's where things get spicy. CJ McCollum wasn't just a good scorer. He was the veteran voice of the Pelicans' locker room, the glue guy, the guy who mentored Zion, backed up Ingram, kept the culture in check. So why trade him? Because some believe this is step one in moving Zion Williamson. If you're thinking that sounds crazy, think again. Zion has been at the center of trade rumors for over a year. His injuries, his questionable conditioning, and now his support system is gone. By trading CJ, the Pelicans sent a message. Zion, we're watching. And if things don't click fast, if Poole flames out, if Ingram walks, if Zion misses another 30-plus games, don't be surprised if New Orleans hits the nuclear button and trades Zion for a full rebuild. While everyone's talking about Poole and CJ, the sneakiest part of this trade might be Saddiq Bey, a 6'7" wing with a smooth jumper, defensive versatility, and a 51-point game on his resume. Bey's a classic modern role player, exactly the kind of guy every playoff team wants. And now he's on a roster that could really use his skill set. Don't be shocked if Bey ends up closing games for the Pelicans by the end of the season. He might not be the headline, but he could end up being the biggest win. Let's be real. Jordan Poole's biggest opponent isn't Zion or Ingram. It's himself. He's already been through the ringer. First a bench roll, then a ring, then a knockout punch, then exile, then ridicule. And now, he's back under pressure. The Pelicans aren't handing him the keys. He'll have to fight for minutes. He'll have to earn touches. He'll be playing alongside Zion, Ingram, possibly Jonte Murray if they make another move. So what happens when Poole doesn't get 20 shots a night? Can he adjust? Can he defend? Can he actually fit in? Or will the old habits come back? Because if he blows this chance, the NBA might not keep giving him new ones. It's been over a year, but Draymond Green still haunts Jordan Poole's legacy. That one punch didn't just bruise his face. It branded him as fragile. As a guy who lost the locker room. As someone who can't handle heat. And whether it's fair or not, that perception stuck. In Washington, he tried to shake it. Didn't work. Now in New Orleans, he gets one last shot to change the narrative. He can't just score. He has to lead, be unselfish, prove that he's more than a highlight reel with shaky decision-making. Because Draymond's not in New Orleans, but the ghost of that punch is still following him. So, who actually won this trade? Most fans say the Pelicans won. They got younger, they got 2 potential rotation players, and they shed an expiring contract in CJ. But the Wizards, they might have made a chess move.
They cleared money, opened a path for a full rebuild, and if they hit on a future draft or land a big free agent in 2026, this trade will look like the start of something bold.
Right now, though, it's hard to argue with the Pelican side. They got real talent, real upside, and they might have quietly positioned themselves for a big-time roster shakeup, with Zion's future hanging in the balance. This wasn't just a trade, it was a setup. At first glance, this trade looked like nothing. A swap of underperformers and cap space. But when you dig deeper, you start to realize Jordan Poole is fighting for his NBA career. The Pelicans might be preparing to blow it all up. The Wizards are either geniuses or totally lost, and Zion's name could be trending any day now. This wasn't just a trade, it was a setup for something bigger. And what comes next might shake up the league all over again.